Remember when the world felt bigger? When every shadow held a secret and every cardboard box was a castle waiting to be defended? I do. It feels like a lifetime ago. Back then, I was a cartographer of clouds, an architect of pillow forts, a whisperer to the wind. My best friend was a little wooden astronaut, carved by my grandpa. We named him Cosmo. Together, we charted galaxies in the dust motes, dancing in the sunbeams. Our mission, to find the star that sang. Life was an endless adventure, painted in the brightest colors imaginable. Then, life happened. The vibrant colors faded to shades of gray. The calendar replaced the star charts. Spreadsheets and deadlines filled the spaces once occupied by dragons and distant planets. The grand adventures became navigating rush hour traffic. The pillow forts turned into mortgage payments. I grew up, as we all do. I packed away my childhood, tucking it into a dusty box in the attic of my memory, and forgot the way back. I became sensible, practical, responsible. And in the process, I think a part of me went to sleep. I didn't even notice it was gone. A few weeks ago, I had to clear out my old family home. It was a bittersweet task, a journey through layers of time. Every room echoed with ghosts of laughter and forgotten moments. In the attic, under a dusty white sheet, I found it. A box simply labeled important things. My hands trembled a little as I lifted the lid. And there he was, Cosmo, my little wooden astronaut, lying on a bed of faded drawings and story fragments. His painted-on smile seemed just as optimistic as I remembered. Picking him up, the smooth, worn wood felt familiar in my palm. It was just a toy. Primera told myself, a piece of wood, a relic of a time long past. I placed him on my nightstand back in my city apartment. A small, silent monument to a boy I used to be. The city hummed its relentless lullaby outside my window, a song of urgency and things to be done. I felt the usual weight of tomorrow's to-do list settle on my shoulders. As I drifted off to sleep, I thought I saw a faint glimmer from the corner of my eye, a tiny sparkle from where Cosmo stood guard, but I dismissed it as a trick of the tired mind. That night, something magical happened. I didn't just dream, I was transported. I woke up, not in my bed, but lying in a forest where the leaves shimmered with every color of the rainbow and the trees whispered secrets to each other. The air smelled of rain and honey and something ancient and wild. I looked down at my hands. They were mine, yet they felt lighter. A familiar giggle echoed through the trees, and a little boy, no older than 7, with my own wide eyes and messy hair, peeked out from behind a giant, glowing mushroom. He was holding a kite, its tail a cascade of shimmering ribbons. He grinned. "You're late," he said, his voice the chime of a long-forgotten bell. "The star sailors are waiting for us." And then I saw him, Cosmo. He wasn't a small wooden toy anymore. He was life-sized, his wooden joints moving with a gentle creak, his painted eyes twinkling with starlight. "Greetings, Captain," he said, his voice a warm, rumbling baritone. "The cosmic currents are favorable tonight." My heart hammered against my ribs, a drumbeat of disbelief and wonder. This couldn't be real. And yet it felt more real than anything I had experienced in years. The little boy, my younger self, grabbed my hand. "Come on," he urged, pulling me deeper into the woods. We ran, and I felt a joy so pure, it was almost painful. We raced past talking squirrels who were debating the physics of acorn storage and giant, friendly bears who offered us honeycombs that dripped liquid sunlight. It was a world woven from my own forgotten daydreams. Every detail, from the grumpy badger who guarded a bridge made of moonlight to the river that flowed with sparkling lemonade, was a memory brought to life. It was my world, the one I had built and then abandoned. We reached a clearing at the highest point of the forest. The night sky above wasn't black, but a deep, swirling nebula of violet and gold. The stars weren't just points of light. They pulsed with a gentle rhythm, humming a soft, melodic tune. The singing star. We had found it. Younger me handed me the kite. "It's your turn to fly it," he said. As I took the string, the kite tugged, eager to join the celestial dance. As it soared upwards, it left a trail of golden dust, connecting the stars like a cosmic drawing. Looking at my younger self, his face lit with pure, unadulterated happiness, I felt a pang in my chest. "I forgot," I whispered. "I forgot all of this." He just smiled, a wisey, knowing smile. "You didn't forget," I sighed softly. "You just got busy. It's always been here, waiting for you." Cosmo placed a sturdy wooden hand on my shoulder. "Imagination is not a place you leave behind, Captain," he rumbled gently. "It's the engine of the soul. It just needs to be refueled sometimes." In that moment, surrounded by the impossible, I understood. The magic wasn't in the toy. The magic was, and always had been, inside of me. The little boy and Cosmo began to fade, becoming translucent, their forms dissolving back into starlight. "Don't be a stranger," my younger self called out, his voice a fading echo. I woke up in my own bed. The sun was streaming through the window, and the city's hum felt less like a demand and more like an invitation. I looked over at my nightstand. There he was, Cosmo, the little wooden astronaut, still and silent, but his painted smile seemed different now. Wiser knowing. I picked him up, held him to my chest, and a single tear rolled down my cheek. It wasn't a tear of sadness, but of gratitude, of homecoming. The world didn't magically change that day. I still have spreadsheets and deadlines, but something inside me had shifted. The gray felt a little less permanent. I started noticing the small wonders again, the way the sunset painted the skyscrapers in hues of orange and pink, the intricate patterns of a spider's web on my balcony, the stories in the faces of strangers on the subway. I started drawing again, filling notebooks with impossible creatures and fantastical landscapes. I brought color back into my life, one brushstroke at a time. Imagination never really leaves us. It's not a childhood relic to be packed away. It's a quiet, constant companion, a hidden wellspring waiting for us to remember it's there. All we have to do is be brave enough to visit, to listen, and to play once in a while. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. If this story resonated with you, I'd be so grateful if you'd like this video and subscribe to the channel for more stories from the heart. What's a piece of your childhood imagination you remember most? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, don't forget to look for the magic.